Mr. Animesh Mishra. He is presently heading the Sales and PR Corporate Communication at Energy Efficiency Services Limited. He holds an experience of 25 years in marketing and is currently in charge of strategy development, analytics, program implementation, and raising awareness of EESL initiatives. He has 25 years of marketing experience. Animesh earned his bachelor's degree in public administration from Osmania University in Hyderabad. Mr. Animesh will discuss on how smart meters can contribute to energy management. So delegates, let's welcome Mr. Animesh Mishra.
So this is a smart meter journey in India. So earlier, if you would see the smart meters, which would be around whatever the lifetime for the people who would be around right now listening to this webinar, the smart meters which we saw earlier in our times would have been a good development and generation from the earlier gas meters, which was utilized earlier for energy meters also, and this started around 1880. After that, and the concept of meter reading was like person would come to your house, he would take the meter reading from your house, have some time, he would take time, and there could be a very tedious job coming, ringing the bell if the house persons are there or not there, if the house is locked, and there was a lot of nitty-gritties which used to be there, and he would take the meter reading. And after that, there was a process where we would stand in queues, even for paying the bills, as well as also having any customer complaints. We used to have to go to the customer care center of the discoms, that is the energy billing centers. And after that, it would get redressed, and there was no vision on when and where it could be attended. You used to have to go catch a linesman for any fault or any faulty meter, getting it addressed. It was long and tedious task which used to be there, and the migration was being taken, and it was there. I remember in one of the meetings where Honorable Minister at that point of time in 2015, Piyush Goyal, held it in his office, and he called in all the mobile operators to ask them that how can we improve the consumer experience, and then the concept of making it digital. And at that point of time, only you got the much awaited Digital India focus coming by the government of India, which was earlier also, but it was predominantly made and focused around 2014 and 2015. And then we had come to the next stage, and when it came to all in a small box of smart meters, making electricity usage very transparent and customer friendly. It all was the issues which we were experiencing in earlier thing were identified and thought over, and lot of brainstorming, and every places feedback from various discoms across India were taken. There were the consumer behavior was also studied. So ultimately research and all over the connected grid, which was thought that residential connection in India is up to 25 crore, and to add to it, you had also industrial meters which were there, which would be approximately around somewhere around 15-16 crores, which is up to the standard of the large industry, which we say per se. MSME, if you add, it will go somewhere in lakhs, which is there. And then came the smart meter, and what with it was that it enabled many things for the people which we were looking for. It had a transparent billing system. You could monitor your electricity consumption, can function as net meter for many things. You could actually make out how much you are using, and the payments were also made easy. One of the point also was the consumer redressal, which was the prime point during the various discussion on electricity and energy management were being considered. And these all were answered when we conceptualized and launched smart meters by the National Smart Meter Program. So here, basically, I would like to take you. There were also advantages and disadvantages which would be coming in with the advent of smart meters. But let's first look at the brighter side of it. Now we don't need any manual reading, and it has to be submitted, and that long time which were being taken at point of time that the person had to come to your home and take the meter reading, then go back, feed it into a system which you used to generate a bill, and then the bill was posted through Department of Post. It used to come to you, and then it was submitted, and then you used to take it and then paid the bill. Many a times it was also there was a late, and there was, at least in the earlier stages of 1980s, the bill payment, the late bill payment was up to the tune of 25%, and there were many which were also unpaid. So that was always there, a story of unpaid bills which is happening, which again is a difficult thing to do while you're on smart metering. Easy to monitor your energy usage. In every house, you have multiple equipment and energy appliances which you're using, and there are many equipment which will take more energy and consume more electricity and enhance your current consumption. So this can also help with your smart metering, and consumption can be made very much of a designed pattern the way you want to spend on your energy billings. Accurate bills, no more estimate. This is something which we also, so that is something which has to be. I'll just jump to the disadvantage that many people have a consumption of or assumption of the fact that smart meter can reduce bill. No, it cannot reduce the bill. It gives you accurate and appropriate billing, and this is how you can control your billing. Like you are switching on the AC, say for 8 hours, but if you come to really know that you don't require it for 8 hours and that consumes more energy during the peak hours, earlier there used to be different tariffs. So this can control your energy bill. So it will not reduce the bill, it will give you more accurate bill. Can also highlight faulty appliances. So every appliances today have got star rating done by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, which states that every equipment now should give what energy consumption it is going to have, and what would be the power supply which has an input and output. All is given, so you can actually see if some equipment which you have put, which has to consume X number of energy, and it is doing X plus Y, you can assume either it has gone faulty, or maybe there is a fault in the line which is doing that, and so that you can raise an alarm. It is an alarm which you can raise for yourself and raise it to the DISCOM also. It has a positive impact in the environment. So the latent benefit which smart meters does, that because you don't now need people coming to do the reading. So the latent impact, so if you have say 25 crore smart meters across India, so there will be 25 meter readings which has to happen every month. For that, the kind of fuel required for traveling, even in cycle, the energy required, the time consumed, everything which will be energy will be impacted on that. So the fossil fuel consumption goes down, and ultimately a lot of efficiency comes out of this, and that brings in the positive impact on the environment. So there is a lot of thing which is being done through smart metering, and after all there is, which is something which we want. Once you go to the, right now we are in the smart metering phase, you can say technology 1, where we have even in power supply we have only one operator who is supplying it. Once if you go to a system where you can have interoperability, like the Vikram had shared, you can have multiple service provider like telecom, and you can switch over to operator you want to. So you will have different kind of tariffs which will be there. So you can have a tariff selection, which tariff you want, which hour tariff you want. So you can switch over once you have this smart meter placed with you. So the disadvantages with current smart meter, because it is all technology prone. So, and technology, as we have seen in mobile phone, how fast it changes. If we see, we were very recently, all our smart meters today even work in a very basic GPRS technology, but we are now graduating towards 5G, and suddenly we had the telecom industry which invested in first the GPRS, then the 2G, then 3G, then 4G, then 5G. So 2G and 4G has been a very stable way of providing network in telecom. The 3G suddenly came and gone. So here also in smart meters, when the technology will change, you will have new technology smart meters which has to be installed. So smart meter stage 2 will come into play, which can actually be there, and which can have a dual connection of dual operators, and multiple operators will be there. It also at times what happens for many of people, because there are a lot of digital reading which is going on. In a normal analog meter, you had only a single reading. So people used to read their meters, and it was easy for them to understand, who would note down in an Excel sheet what was their last month's reading and this month's reading. They used to compare. Here there are 4 or 5 multiple readings which come in, which you once you understand, it's good. Otherwise, or else it becomes a little difficult for people to understand. And again, it, as we said, it is technology and telecom dependent. It is very important that in a country like India, where you have so much population, so much meter connection, the connectivity or the telecom service has to be also supportive. So it is dependent on other technologies and another support system. Like my colleagues Vikram Siemens, we have taken their technology support in Bihar when we are implementing smart meters, and we have implemented approximately 1 million smart meters in prepaid smart meters in Bihar. Siemens are supporting us there, and that is there. So it is dependent on another technology and signals. Lack of awareness is one of the primary reasons, because what happens, as I said, it will not reduce the bill, but many of people have got this thought and mindset, it might reduce not, but it will increase the bill. Now the reason is there are a lot of you call theft which happens in India, a lot of meter which runs slow in India. In smart meters, that is a very minimum chance that the smart meter will go wrong and it will give wrong readings. So what happens, you get an accurate reading. Earlier maybe your analog meter was slow, and suddenly you get the accurate bill and you think your bill is jumping high, and you start feeling unsatisfactory reasons for opposing the thing. So there is a very important thing, that it has to have a lot of awareness which has to be created. Today we are just starting at the tipping point of the iceberg of smart meter, which is what it can do to the industry. So when we come to the benefits which it has brought to the discoms, it has brought efficiency in discoms. It has basically increased their revenue cycle also, because you have a very automated process of payment system. Today you can pay with the help of a mobile app through the technologies things. It has become a lot of indirect benefits, as I explained earlier. Time saving is there, fossil fuel saving is there, no manual intervention. You can have meter reading over the air. You can just have anytime reading. I myself use the meter reading at my mobile device on every morning and evening, and then morning and evening, so that I see what the consumption is of my house and myself. So these are something which are very good benefit which is happening to discom. Increased revenue generation with accuracy of reading, which is one of the things which was plaguing the discoms, that the person used to go there and take the reading. Many a time what used to happen was that reading used to come in late, the recording used to happen late. So but it becomes now you have accurate reading at the drop of your hat. You can do grid load balancing, as my esteemed colleague shared earlier. It can actually help when you have the consumption pattern of smart meters, which can be made into a single point, and you can actually study these things and make how you can balance the load on the grid. And that also makes you help do away with load shedding, which used to earlier happen. Optimization of human resources. So you are having more and more human resources which can be applied to more technical expertise, and that, and it also in a way today with development, as we say, change is evident and imminent. So skill development is something which will happen. People who were earlier going and doing meter reading can now be people who can do meter fixing, or maybe helping on the field on other parts of the job of energy line management. Automated update system of all the in hierarchy via internet. So if a CEO, you say MD of a discom is there, or even the company which is supplying, everybody has access to this information, and because it's all online and all connected and all digital. So these are the few benefits there. When we talk about lot of benefits can be more identified, and skewed. These are the most beneficial things which we have come to notice while we have interacted with so many discoms across India. So these are the basic apps which we have been being supported with. We have a major installation and of smart meter which has happened in Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Rajasthan, Bihar. So these are the apps which help you. Your governance, mobile governance is truly applicable in the power sector now, especially in residential sector and also in commercial sector, because of this advantage of technology. So smart meters has changed the world. Today we consume and also feel about energy. Now you actually think energy is in your own control. Earlier it was something which we used to not be aware of, but today we are getting aware of what the energy is that we are consuming and what can be done with it. This is a small slide of our achievement. So when we have ESL and our joint venture IntelliSmart, we are right now the biggest smart meter providers of India, and we have done an installation of three over 3 million smart meters across Rajasthan, New Delhi, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and Andaman and Assam. Now there are various where we are going today. Now this is what has happened. Their advantages are always there, which will be there, but with the technology, like we said, the trends which is taking it, one is there that you can have with 5G coming in, there will be lot of more control which happens to us. NB-IoT is a technology which will be widely used in smart metering. Plus what happens that the smart metering usage now is not only limited to electricity consumption at your residential or commercial hub, but it is also, as shared earlier by my esteemed colleague, it will be utilized in electric vehicle charging infra, it will be utilized in gas metering, it will be utilized in water metering. Everywhere it will happen, and it will take us to a different level where it will be there. There will be more avenues which will open up for us as the time comes in. Majorly it will be that we would be also be supportive with the telecom, and more industry would be coming in and taking part in this thing, and more private players would be coming into it, seeing the, because 25 crores which you have to do by say 2030 is a huge humongous task, and it is one figure that which we have today. By tomorrow there will be more residential houses, more infrastructure, more requirement of smart meters, and it will go by leaps and bounds. So it is very important that the private partnership also comes into it, and there is a policy around it which is more robust, which makes discoms more having more reliability towards implementing the program. Thank you.